Konnichiwa, my otakus. I'm the Gaming Otaku, and welcome back to another guide. So today we are going to be doing Discordia. Discordia's passive is Contest of Gods. This ability will give a power buff to the ally with the highest player damage. Discordia's first ability is Unruly Magic. This is a projectile ability that deals damage to all enemies hit. When the projectile reaches its end, it will drop and scatter into smaller projectiles that will also deal more damage and can bounce off walls. Discordia's second ability is Strife. This is an AoE ability that will deal damage to all enemies hit. This ability will also have a different effect based on the amount of enemies that were hit. If only one enemy was hit, they will be rooted. However, if two or more are hit, madness will be applied and they will attack each other. Discordia's third ability is Erratic Behavior. This is a leap ability that will provide a small area of stealth for Discordia. While inside of this ability, the cooldowns of Unruly Magic and Strife will be reduced by 1 for each 0.5 seconds inside the ability. And Discordia's ultimate is Golden Apple of Discord. This is a projectile ability that will stop on the first enemy god hit, dealing damage, crippling, and intoxicating them. Afterwards, the ability will detonate, dealing more damage and spreading to any nearby enemy god. Alright, so Discordia's combos are actually super simple, and it's as simple as 2, 1. Now, obviously, this actually works a lot better if you hit 2 people with your Strife, and then you can hit both of them with your Unruly Magic. If you're going to do that, you're going to obviously want to aim towards where they're going to meet, so you hit both of them. And then, so you just kind of hit them with that. And then if you have the dash up and are ballsy enough to use it and think you can not die in the team fight, then obviously you go into your 3, get those cooldowns, and then use it again. That's if obviously you don't two-shot them like Discordia does. But anyways, we're going to jump on over to the pros and the cons. Alright, so Discordia has quite a bit of pros, and she is probably one of the higher complained about mages currently. And one of the pros is the fact that she just has really high burst damage. Now, I am one of the people that will probably say this amongst very few people that say this, but Discordia has a really shit early game. But come mid and late game, she can start doing quite a bit of damage, to the point where in late game, she will two-shot you with her Strife and Unruly Magic combo. Now, due to the fact that her abilities cover such a massive area, she is going to be really good in team fights. Also, due to the fact that she can just slap off seconds of her cooldowns off of her 2 abilities, then she's just going to be using those abilities non-stop in team fights. And then other than Serket, I don't believe any other god has madness. Don't quote me on that though. But then also, in my opinion, this one is a lot easier to hit than Serket's, again, in my opinion. And then, as I previously said, just the fact that this madness can be so relevant in team fights is just absolutely amazing. And also, you know, she's using this ability 2 or 3 times in a very short span of time due to the fact that Erratic Behavior just slaps off seconds from it. And then, even though it is a short area, we'll get more into this into the cons, but she does have a stealth ability. And yeah, sure, it doesn't move a whole lot, but from past experience, you can still do some pretty interesting jukes in this ability. You can dodge auto attacks, you can dodge line abilities, and sometimes you can just buy yourself time before, you know, Strife and Unruly Magic comes back up. And with all that being said, we shall move on to the cons. Her first con is just the fact that she has a really small leap. Compared to most gods, you know, her leap is just kind of right there. It's kind of like a Fenrir Brutalize. It doesn't go very far. It just gets you a little bit of distance. So it's really best not to use this to run away if you're running away from a god that you know their dash is up. I would recommend trying to use it to go through walls, even though it's so short that it barely goes through any walls on any of the maps. It goes through, I believe, 3 walls on the Joust map, and I believe like only a small handful, like 2 or 3 in the Conquest map. So yeah, it's not really good for getting away. And then, as I mentioned above, she does have a very small stealth area. It's similar to Nuwa's, except the difference is Nuwa still moves. So she can move forward when, you know, dodging stuff. Unlike Discordia, she can't really go anywhere. So if somebody knows she's in there, say a Scylla, she's fucked. Scylla will just throw a crush down and it'll take up the entire area and hit her. And then, I don't know how many people agree with me on this, but the ultimate is really hard to hit if you're hitting it from a distance standpoint. Now, obviously, it's such a massive ability that if they're right in front of your face and you miss it, you're pretty bad at this game. But if you're hitting it from a distance, good luck, because it's very slow and it's just really easy to dodge. So again, good luck. However, nice little tip for this ability. The ability is actually so massive that if an enemy god is right on your ass, you can actually hit them instead. So if that's not who you're aiming for, then it's possible that you're gonna get cock blocked. And that is it for the pros and cons. So for abilities and how to level them up, just max out the 1, then the 2, then the 3, and then the ultimate. It's just pretty simple. Your 1 is your main source of wave clear. Strife is still good for a lot of damage and some CC. And then honestly, your 3 is just a small dash with some invisibility. Again, it's not really worth leveling up, and then obviously your ultimate's always the last thing you level up. So with all that being said, we're gonna jump on over to the build. Alright, so Discordia's build is as simple as any other mage's build. However, I don't stack on Discordia. In fact, I don't stack on a whole lot of gods, but in Conquest, I would recommend starting Vampiric Shroud. She's not very mana hungry. You could just get a Vampiric Shroud tier 1 boots, then a Mana Chalice, and 2 health pots. But from there, go choose the Magi, Bancrofts for the passive, choose the Magi for the extra for the penetration early game, and then Obsidian Shard because she doesn't benefit from Magus nearly as much. And then Spirit Desolation because it gives a little bit of cooldown that will definitely help come late game, but also it has 80 power and a little extra penetration. Now, do not buy just Spirit Desolation and just skip Obshard. Don't do that. It's only 20 penetration, and I say this all the time. It is not an item you can build just for the penetration, because 20 penetration doesn't do shit come late game. But then I go Chronos Pendant and then Rod of Tahuti. Now, as of late, I've been building Rod of Tahuti 4th item and then Spirit Deso into Chronos. Doesn't matter the order as long as you build Rod after 3rd item, because if you build it any earlier than that, you're kind of just wasting time on putting yourself behind, because it's the most expensive item in the game. Now, optional items or situational items, Book of Thoth or Warlocks. I don't have Warlocks here, but you can stack it on Discordia. I don't do it, but I don't see the problem with doing it either. I do what you want. Divine Ruin, obviously, if they have a lot of healing, so that way you get anti-heal. Soul Reaver, this is a very viable item, especially on the 1, but then again, we all know Discordia can 2-shot people with the 2-1 combo. And then Gem of Isolation, because Discordia is one of few gods in this game that does not have a slow in her kit, so if you want to be an asshole, go ahead and get Gem of Isolation. But that is it for the build and this god guide. So anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and or subscribe for your senpai, and comment below what god I should do next for the next god guide, and I'll see you Brotakus in the next video. See ya!